Well, there's never a shortage of shows or sights and sounds throughout this city, but for the next few hours, all eyes are glued to Allegiant Stadium here in Las Vegas. Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Los Angeles Chargers and the Las Vegas Raiders. And they will wrangle them down a couple yards shy of the 30. The offense for Los Angeles returns to the field. Herbert on the first play wants to pass it. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far at second down. When tapping those toes, he tried to get both in bounds. He could not do it, though.
In tap dance parlance, could not complete the shuffle. All right, needed to get that shuffle down with both feet, not just one.
Is that what they say?
There it is. You know, put a little sand down on the stage.
I'll take your word for it, my man. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. Well, Charles, sometimes we talk about the lengths officials sometimes go to protect star quarterbacks, but that was tough to argue against.
Yeah, and I'm sure that everyone's going to say, hey, we're going to administer the penalty the same way for all quarterbacks. But when it's a star back there, even more so they're going to be diligent about throwing the flag.
Herbert will give this one to Eckler. Shifts past him at the 45. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Once more, here's Eckler. Able to slither by. On a nice burst there as he'll take this inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. That one good for 13 and a Charger first. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
Well, this is a defense that's definitely on their heels now because they gave up the running play for good yardage one play ago. Now the pass here sets this offense up 1st and goal. They're going to have to dig in strong now because they've been in retreat so far in this drive. This offense on the march.
And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7.
Not a whole lot there on 1st and goal, and that's what you're looking for defensively. You'll certainly live with giving up just a yard or two in this situation.
The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. Back to throw here, Herbert. He's got it. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. The catch good for 6 yards, but now it's 3rd and goal.
I like it, I like it, I like it. Get everyone involved in the passing game, and you know you can create those great mismatches throwing it to your guys out of the backfield.
And on the first drive, that can also help establish some rhythm, right?
I think so. It gets everyone involved. They feel like they're part of it, and really gets them amped up as they...
Got a man, it's Allen for the Charger touchdown. A 1-yard touchdown pass, and the Chargers are on the board first here in Vegas. That was a big throw right there on 3rd and goal.
And the defense has to be prepared for you to throw the ball on 3rd and goal. Because really, 2nd down, 2nd and goal, that's your play action time, and you're not sure whether they're going to run it or throw it. 3rd down, you're usually sure they're probably going to pass it. Even more impressive that they got it done, and on the opening drive of the game.
The kick unit on here for the Chargers as they will send this one away. Taken in at the 3. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. Garoppolo now, first down throw. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. Second down. Well, that's not the way you want to start. A first pass attempt and a first drop all in one.
Well, you've got plenty of time to make up for it, but obviously not the way you want to get things started. Got to shake that off and get going.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
On 4th down, A.J. Cole comes on to punt. It's a 45-yard punt, just a 1-yard return. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. The Chargers get set to go here for their 2nd drive. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. I mean, look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. They'll come to the line needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Off the play fake to Eckler, it's Herbert. And that will be incomplete.
Partner, we've got ourselves a ball game, and those guys on defense, they came to play. Slipped up on their first series, but they're definitely settling in now and letting it be known that points won't come so easy again.
On 4th down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away. DeAndre Carter back deep. And the fair catch is taken at about the 13-yard line here. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Raider drive will start from deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. Garoppolo on 1st down. They swing that out wide to Jacobs. Only able to gain a couple there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. To throw, it's Garoppolo. Looking deep for Adams. It got his man complete. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40.
Now that one hurts defensively. They force him into 3rd and long, have the advantage, yet they give up the big play right there.
Yeah, their offense was already warming up on the sideline, ready to come out. So much for that 3 and out. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. First carry for Josh Jacobs. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. Once again, it's Jacobs. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. 2 yards, good enough for a first. The first drive this unit had, they punted. This drive, much more polished, just looking crisper, aren't they, moving the ball?
Maybe the first drive was a little bit of a wake-up call. Probably a little bit angry that they had to punt the ball away the first time they had it. Got motivated, got to the sideline, said, okay, let's not let that happen here as we take over again.
Meanwhile, Garoppolo's throw into the hands of Hooper. And they're going to move it down inside the 25.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Garoppolo. And they're going to get this down inside the 20.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then of course they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
Back to the running game with Jacobs. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
The last run got 9. That leaves them with 2nd and a yard. Jacobs going to try the middle, and he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. They give them 2 yards there as they're set up now with a 1st and goal. A much different second drive here, Charles. They go 3 and out the first time. This time they've been able to sustain something downfield.
And that's what often happens. You get the game started. You know, you have to get your footing underneath you. You have to get used to the flow of the game, the speed of the game. And sometimes that first drive is more of a probing drive. It appears they found something here in the second one.
And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal.
The yards may start getting a little tougher to come by down here near the goal line. That's good work defensively there on 1st down, holding them to a short gain.
The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. To throw is Garoppolo. And he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line. Austin Johnson gets the sack defensively.
Second goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. Had to eat it and ended up on the ground.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Now Garoppolo. Dancing to his... Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Khalil Mack, he's the one to get him this time, and back-to-back sacks brings up 4th down.
We always talk about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
is the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And he is out of bounds as they'll start up past the 30. The Charger defensive unit making their way back out there. Obviously not the intended goal last drive. They had to punt the football, but still, they've got the lead here, and now a chance to add on to that lead if they can get points on this drive. 1st and 10 upcoming. Herbert going to lead up the Chargers here, 1st and 10. At about the 32. He'll hand off here to Eckler. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
From the lineman to the guy running with it, that was a well-executed first down by the offense. With 2 shots left to get the first, you can get a little aggressive here on 2nd down if you want and try for some bigger yardage.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Here's Herbert. Man open left side. It's Williams. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. And down to the 44, 5 yards that time. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
And Herbert able to get this one to Eckler out of the backfield. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field.
Charger football to start quarter number 2. This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though. They'll try to pick up the first with Eckler. On a nice burst there as he'll take this inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. 44 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
First down, and they stick with Eckler. A beautiful fake. And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. 28 yards for Austin Eckler as his guys are able to extend their lead. Well, we've said it many times. He is always a threat to go the distance anytime he's got the ball in his hands. And on this occasion, he did just that.
Well, he's definitely the guy that makes this offense go. And when you're an RB1, running back 1, you've got to be willing to be patient at times as well. Not every run's going to be the home run we saw there. But once you get that opportunity and that opening, you take full advantage.
Let's go, fellas. Don't stop that motor. Let's go, baby. No jump out here right now. Let's go, boy. Let's go.
The kick unit on here for the Chargers as they will send this one away. Fields it right around the goal line. And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. The Vegas offense ready for their next possession. They trail now 14-3, an 11-point deficit as they start things out with a 1st and 10. Now a play fake. Garoppolo. And his pass incomplete.
NFL quarterbacks work so hard on their mechanics, and they do so much repetition in practice, off-season, the whole deal. They expect it to be autopilot once the games start. That way it eliminates any type of pressure of the game, pressure of people in your face, all of that. That didn't shine through on that throw, though, did it?
No. A little bit of a dangerous pass and off target, too. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. That burst good for 20 and a first down.
That was good, tough running right up the middle. And if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
On first down, Garoppolo. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
Partner, I think it's high time to get him some passes that he's comfortable with, some easy throws, some completions. He's not even hitting at 50% thus far.
Well, certainly that has played a big role into why they are trailing right now. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. They'll run right here with Jacobs. And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Garoppolo now. And he wisely will throw that one away.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw him break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
Here's A.J. Cole now to punt this one away. He'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. And the L.A. offense ready for this next possession. And as the offense begins another drive here, pretty simple, Charles. They want to carbon copy what happened the last time out when they ended their drive in the end zone.
You're right about that, partner. Sounds pretty simple, doesn't it? Just score again, but we know it's not that simple because we don't just make adjustments at halftime if you're a good football team. You spend that time on the sideline, you study what's on the notes and the tablets, and you make those adjustments, prevent a repeat of the last drive. Series to series, the best teams, that's how they get it done.
And we'll find out here soon enough whether those adjustments are enough defensively. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Play action this time for Justin Herbert. He'll bite, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Max Crosby blowing up the play and getting the sack.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw up a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Over the middle, complete. It's Johnston. And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to the 30. It's a gain of 11, but they're still well short. It's 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
On is the punter Scott here as he gets this one away. Fair catch called for and made right at the 25-yard line. A 40-yard punt, no return. And it'll be Raiders football, 1st and 10. They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Those are the plays this defense needs with the deficit they're facing.
It certainly is, and they've got to continue to swarm the football and hope that someone, while they're holding up the ball carrier, can get in there and rake it and lock it free. They need to get some takeaways as well.
Second down, Jacobs once more. Nifty move. And some room to work. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. 82 yards for him on the ground so far tonight as he has been terrific in this first half.
Once he broke through that first wave of defenders, there was a pretty big gap there for him to run.
And it helps that they were in a dime defense. That's 6 defensive backs. So this is why a lot of teams now are searching for those linebacker safety combo type guys who can add a little bit more size on the defensive side of the ball, but can still run as well, because when you run against 6 DBs with some bigger offensive linemen, you often get this result.
Working with a 2nd and 3. Garoppolo looks to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Jacobs. And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line.
He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
Throwing on first is Garoppolo. Same target. It's Jacobs again. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20.
Boy, that was certainly well-read defensively. And the key to any screenplay is space to work. And there was none to be found there. And they tackle him for just a short gain.
Again, they'll throw with Garoppolo. And his throw is going to be incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and 5. Throw left side complete. That's Jacobs. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It'll be a loss of 2, maybe 3 on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down. Daniel Carlson set for the Raider field goal. He connected on his first, this from 41. The kick by Carlson is good. And a second field goal here cuts their deficit to 14-6 now. So the margin shrinks a bit as back-to-back drives here for him and with field goals.
Yeah, we know no one's turning down 3, especially in the first half, but you've got to finish these drives in the end zone. That's got to be a priority. Nice to have a reliable kicker, but outside of his agent, you know you'd rather him kick 1-pointers instead of 3-pointers.
So the lead trimmed down to 8 as here comes the kickoff, and it's away. This fielded right at the goal line. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. No points last time out. They were forced to punt, if you remember, but no time to dwell on that. They've still got the lead here and a chance to add to that here. 1st and 10 as this new drive starts. Here's Eckler to begin the drive. And he'll work this forward for about 3. It's 2nd down.
Not a huge carry there on 1st down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. Working the middle here. That's complete to Everett, the tight end. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Give them 12 yards there. The Chargers have a first down.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
Running on first down, Eckler. Oh, look at the juke. And some good acceleration there as he's across midfield to the 48-yard line. 89 yards on the ground for Eckler here, and that's a first down.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary, and that led to a really nice gain.
And good space to operate there as he takes this down inside the 35-yard line. A 14-yard pickup. That's 14 yards on 2 straight plays.
This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage, and we're still in the second quarter.
On first down, it's Herbert. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Williams. And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Gets it into the hands of Allen on the jet sweep. Shifts by him. And he'll be out of bounds. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards.
I think the reason that this play is so successful is not just the blocking at the point of attack, but how about the speed at which he takes the handoff? He's in motion already, so he's not coming from a flat start like a running back often is. He's at a full run by the time he gets the football.
Eckler. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on second and goal. And they'll turn to the power game to try to get in. And I think they stopped him again. They did at the 1-yard line. Call it no gain that time, and now it's third and goal. This Raider defense not giving in. They'll try to hold once more on third and goal. Trying to punch it in with Eckler. And he is not going anywhere. He will not even get back to the line of scrimmage as the clock will stop at the 2-minute warning. The Chargers will bring out the field goal unit now. From the right hash at a bit of a tight angle. And he'll try and throw here on the fake. And this one will not work out. It is incomplete. They pass up the 3, fake it. It doesn't work. And the Raiders hang tough down near the goal line. Three tight ends in the ball game here on 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Jacobs to start the drive. Well, that gives them a little room, but not much. A gain of 2 to the 5.
That first down play, all you want to do is wedge out any type of space and try and create enough room. If you have to run the punter out there, he can successfully complete the punt.
Yeah, didn't get a ton there, but at least some positive yardage. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Back near his goal line. Here's Garoppolo. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
Garoppolo's throw pulled in by Renfro. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. The Raiders try to move quickly, try to get everybody back to the line. Play action. Garoppolo steps away to his left. And he'll just get rid of it.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
They tried to throw on second down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. Garoppolo again. Over the middle, that's caught by Adams. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's Garoppolo to throw. He finds his man, complete. It's Jacobs. Now another timeout called for by the offense as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. Five yards remain on second down. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. Trying to get it to Adams, but it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And he brings this one back. It's a pick six and a Charger TD. Now, the offense, they had really not been able to mount anything yet on that drive, and the defense made sure they couldn't mount anything. The interception and the return adding 6 to the scoreboard.
And that's no small return for a linebacker partner. He took matters into his own hands and his legs on that pick. And once he had it, I don't think anyone on the field could have stopped him.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead is up to 15 now.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Get it. Get it. Make plays, y'all. Make plays. Do your thing, baby. Do it. Do it. It's game time. Let's go.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. DeAndre Carter now from his end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21. The Raider offense going to head out now late in this first half. Well, not much time remains here in this first half. We'll see if they can get something out of this drive, at least a field goal. They could certainly use it down by 2 scores. Just over 30 seconds to go in the half. They've got it 1st and 10. Now Garoppolo to try again after the pick six. He'll get this underneath to Jacobs. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
The Raiders are going to have it first, and they trail here as we get back to it in this third quarter of action. From his end zone, here comes Carter. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Out comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. Well, the first half, they struggled a little bit to keep pace offensively, CD, down 2 scores here. So how do they make some changes coming out of the locker room?
Well, they've studied what they did in the first half. They've seen what the defense is throwing at them. Now they want to have a plan of attack against it. So you come out, you're not going to get all the points back on one drive, but get started on it. Start chopping into that lead, and maybe it'll inspire your defense to help out as well. This is certainly a team that has proven it likes to target its backs through the air, and defensively, they were aware of that and certainly were prepared on that throw.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Looking to throw, Garoppolo. Flush to his right, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. He couldn't get away. He'll wind up losing a dozen yards, a 12-yard loss, and it brings up 3rd.
I'd say it's not panic time yet, but let's be honest about it. Empty possession here, not what you're looking for when you're down a couple of scores.
Absolutely not. Trying to start the second half off on the right foot. Unfortunately, going to give the ball up. They fake the give. Now Garoppolo looks to throw. He's got Hooper on the out route. It's a gain of 11, but they're still well short. It's 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Here's A.J. Cole now as he's on to punt for Las Vegas. Taken from just outside the 30. A 46-yard punt, 8 yards on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now we'll look at the Chargers offense. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. Herbert and the Chargers now with a 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. They started on the ground with Eckler. And forget that 100-yard rushing game, at least for the moment, as he'll lose yardage here and fall back under the century mark for the game. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
On 2nd and 11 now, Herbert. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
I have a few questions about that throw because to me there just wasn't a lot there. I thought he tried to do a little bit too much, almost tried to will a receiver open when there was no chance he was going to be. Nice job by the linebacker being all over that one and knocking it away.
Going to throw on 3rd down with Herbert. He finds his man, complete. That's Johnston. And he is going to have the Chargers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them. And these guys have been taking advantage so far.
On 1st down, Justin Herbert. It's complete to Williams. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
2nd and 2. They'll run out of the gun with Eckler. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
Not too many more ideal situations in 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a first down. They ran it and picked it up.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. It's Eckler again, and he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Herbert. Allen's got it complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 22-yard line. The Chargers passing game rolling a bit here. They've got another first.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
That one good for 17 yards, and now they've got it first and goal.
And I'll tell you what, this offense is playing a little bit of keep away right now. They've come out here in the third quarter, possessed the ball for quite a while, and they keep on converting. Nice pitch and catch there to set up the first and goal.
Herbert now. He finds his receiver, Williams, for a Charger touchdown. A 3-yard touchdown pass, and the Chargers take a 3-touchdown lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical, that's one of the words you've taught me, and they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely, you also drain clock too with a drive like that, so you really give yourself an advantage.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by J.C. Jackson. And the Chargers are going to take over at their own 41. After the turnover, here's Herbert. He'll get this out wide to Eckler. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. First down yardage on the first play of the drive. Give him 14.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
Herbert will give this one to Eckler. And a pretty good burst right there as he'll take this down to the 33. 117 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night. He's turning in a pretty impressive performance running the football, and a big reason why they have this nice lead.
And in days gone by, we would clip this out and put it up on the refrigerator, wouldn't we? Clip out the box score. Nowadays, not too many newspapers out there. Maybe you screenshot it online.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Play 3 of the drive not as successful. They go backwards after those 2 first-down gains. Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. From the shotgun, here's Herbert. That's complete to the tight end, Everett. So back-to-back plays, each get nothing. And that brings up third and a full 10 yards.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Now, right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. From the gun, Herbert on third down. He finds his target, Allen. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
A lot of deflated looks on that defense. It seems like they just cannot find a way to get a key stop on third down. Here's another conversion, and now this offense, they're in a position to go up even further as they've got it first and goal.
Now it's Herbert. Touchdown, Chargers. Austin Eckler. He scored on the ground and through the air as his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead. Well, he is putting in a great all-around game, Charles. He already ran one in for a score, and now they utilize him in the passing game.
And they put a lot of pressure on a defensive coordinator and a defense, don't they? Because they're used to him as a runner. But it turns out he's just as dangerous as some of those receivers, and he showed it right there. You don't pay enough attention to him defensively, he makes you pay.
The kick unit on here for the Chargers as they will send this one away. No return here for Carter, and this will be a touchback. The Raiders offense ready to go. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
Let's go do this thing, baby. Let's go.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Running straight ahead is Jacobs. And a pretty little juke move there on a nice gain. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
Pass thrown to Adams. He's got it on the crossing route. And he is going to have the Raiders first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, this is an awfully tough route to defend in man coverage because he lines up on the right and then runs a crossing route back to the other side of the field. So as a defender, you're not only trailing him the whole way, you're also looking out for your own guys to make sure you don't get yourself picked off. And then you can't catch up in time to prevent the completion.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
On play action, now Garoppolo. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. It's a pickup of 15 and a fresh set of downs.
Now what we're seeing, this is much better from this offense because so far in this game, no touchdown to this point, and what's usually a direct correlation? Very few explosive plays. That's been their issue, not able to make that big shot downfield or break one off.
And that's going to be caught for a Raider touchdown. Hunter Renfrow, 33 yards. And the Raiders are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. They went empty backfield, all their weapons out wide, so there really was no secret here to what they were going to do.
No secret, but they still had to execute it, and they still had to protect the guy throwing the ball, because oftentimes when you empty the backfield, people bring pressure at you. They managed to hold in there and successfully complete the touchdown pass.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. Still operating with a comfortable lead despite the score a moment ago as they begin 1st and 10. Here's Herbert. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it's 2nd down.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
That throw into the arms of Allen. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That one good for 26 and a 1st down.
This is just more of the same. This defense has had no answer on a lot of these throws. They've let these receivers run wild, and here's another completion for good yardage.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Back to throw here, Herbert. Got a man over the middle. It's Williams. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
On 2nd down, Eckler. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. It's a gain of 11 and a 1st down, L.A.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
One quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Las Vegas. Welcome back, everybody. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Finally, defensively, they have a little clip to show positive for actually stopping him running the football.
It's been a really long night for them, hasn't it? So they got a little bit of a win there, but let's face it, the vision that he's had running the football has carried his feet to the open spaces and to big yardage all night long.
7 yards on the carry. Make it 3rd and 4 coming up.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations There'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
On third down, here's Eckler. Shifts by at the 15. And he is going to have the Chargers first down as he'll be marked down a yard or two past the marker following a gain of 6.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete. But their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Officially nothing on that one, no gain, so they're left with still 10 to go on third down. On the option, here's Eckler. And he's not going to get anywhere close to the marker as they'll stop him well short of the yellow line. Call it a gain of 5. Fourth down now. The Chargers will bring out the field goal unit now. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And his kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
Let's go, let's go, let's go. Do your thing. That's right. Let's go, baby. Let's go, baby. Let's go, baby. Let's do it. Let's go, fellas. That's right, dog.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he returns this to the 22. The Vegas offense ready for their next possession. The offense coming back out here. Plenty of energy, ready to roll, looking to just add to what they have been doing after scoring a touchdown, Charles, their last time out.
And that's a great feeling to have on the sideline, partner, knowing you just won the battle against the opposing defense. And since they came off the field, I'll guarantee you all they want to do is get back out there because they know they have the upper hand on that defense right now.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. On play action, it's Garoppolo. And finding the tight end Hooper. 5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
The Raiders on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This will be 3rd and 5. Garoppolo looks to throw. That's going to be caught. It's Jacoby Myers. And he is going to have the Raiders first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Here's Garoppolo on 1st and 10. They swing that out wide to Jacobs. It'll go as a gain of 4, and it's second down.
And that's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
Looking to throw again on second down. Garoppolo. Open man, that's Renfro. And he's brought to the ground with another first down at the Chargers' 33. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
Well, this game is certainly pretty well over. They can go ahead and mark it in the win column. But as a defense, they don't want to get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place against them, gets big yardage, and puts points on the board. They have pride, too, on that side of the ball.
Garoppolo again. Well, they intercept Garoppolo for the 3rd time. Derwin James with a pick. 30. 10. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 and a Charger TD. Well, this one was already ugly, and now it's just kind of becoming a feast on the defensive side of the football.
Yeah, partner, this is a unit that knows they've got this game in the bag with this huge lead, and it's going to drive their coaches crazy because they're telling them, play it straight, do all the right things. But these guys are going to be freewheeling now. All of them are going to take chances, and that one pays off with an INT and a return for 6.
Extra point safely through. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead.
Let's go do this thing, baby. Keep our poise. They got to walk that walk, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Let's go. Let's go, y'all. Let's go. Every week. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. It's showtime, baby. Yeah, go right now. Do it.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This taken in at the goal line. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25. Garoppolo now. And down he goes. A coverage sack. Took too long to get rid of it. Brought down by multiple defenders, and it's a loss of 12.
Well, it's an old chestnut, but let's face it, offensively, they've got to have some pride here because this has been a worst-case scenario all game for them. Keep putting in the effort. Keep trying to keep your quarterback upright and get through the end of this one as quickly as possible.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
Here's A.J. Cole now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Fair catch taken just inside the 40-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And they will take over 1st and 10. Chargers in good field position to start out. 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he's got room. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Once more, here's Eckler. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
Brendan, every great running backs coach I've talked with has always talked about when you have great vision, you're not consciously thinking about your cuts and your moves. You're just doing them. And I think that's what we're seeing tonight. He's about to run them into submission, hasn't he?
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was just going to use that phrase. He has run them into submission.
Wave the white flag.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. On 2nd down and 4, Herbert. And this is caught. He's got it. Touchdown, L.A. Gerald Everett from 6 yards away. And the Chargers continue to pour it on here in the fourth. Boy, he has been fun to watch throwing the football in this one. It's certainly not fun for that defense, though, Charles. Now up to 4 touchdown passes in this ball game.
Yeah, we're supposed to be neutral, but I'm feeling their pain right now because he has absolutely carved up this secondary. A clinic on how to attack a defense and take them out of the game.
The kick unit on here for the Chargers as they will send this one away. Taken at the goal line.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Throwing on first is Garoppolo. Renfro bringing it in over the middle. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. First down. Well, I mean, look, obviously there's no 20 or 30-point play in that playbook, but they can try to end things here on a positive note despite trailing big, and that looks like what they're trying to do here by pushing the ball downfield.
Well, let me go with the heavy cliche then, partner. Just control what you can control right now, and all they can control here is how their final plays develop.
He's been a busy man here in this one, and they're showing off some nice footwork to stay in bounds.
And with those types of catches and the volume that we've seen in this game, wouldn't you keep him busy as well?
I would.
Of course. You got to keep throwing it to him. He keeps making plays.
To throw again on second down. Garoppolo. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up third down.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration of body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
Throwing is Garoppolo on third down. Now he's flushed out right. And that is incomplete. But the pressure there on third down, forcing the errant pass. Fourth down coming up.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Here's A.J. Cole now, as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. It's taken to the 26. It'll be a 41-yard punt. Give them 5 on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The offense for Los Angeles returns to the field. This has really just been a lopsided affair. What a performance they put on, and now they get the football back here with a big lead in the 4th quarter. You know, in the past, we might be discussing dinner plans, talking about steak and sushi, whatever the case is, CD. This ball game is pretty much well in the books.
Yeah, we really could have started bringing up dinner a long time ago if we wanted to, partner. And I think a few of the guys out in the field already making plans for the evening. That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Up the middle with Eckler. And this defense able to plug him up there as he'll get a yard to the 35. They had 3 yards on first down, just 1 yard there. Eckler, they run left side. And he'll get this to the 40, but that's still going to be a few yards short of the first down. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll bring up a 4th down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
Here's J.K. Scott now as he's on to punt for L.A. It's a 45-yard punt, just a 1-yard return. And the offense will come back out deep in their own territory. Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. Well, CD, it's all window dressing at this point. I mean, the best they can do is end the game with a nice drive to maybe build some momentum to move forward into their next contest.
Yeah, and with how lopsided this game has been, even one score might not do a lot of cosmetic good on the scoreboard, partner, because it's just about looking forward at this point. Get a touchdown here, give yourself some positive momentum and reps to focus on when you get back to practice in the next couple of days.
Now, 4th quarter, certainly not enough time for a comeback, but nice to see them making use of the time remaining to try and make this one a little more respectable.
Yeah, I think the ultimate goal, good execution, be crisp, be sharp, and find a way to put some points on the board to make this thing look just a little bit better.
Yeah, that's good for a gain of 6, and it'll be 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Meanwhile, Garoppolo's throw into the hands of Hooper. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. They've got another first down. The Raider passing game clicking on all cylinders right now.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
They show run with 3 tight ends here on first down. Garoppolo looks to throw once more. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. It'll be a gain of 5, and that'll bring up 2nd down. As this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just complete domination on both sides of the football here this one.
Certainly was, and I think both sides compete against each other all the time. You go at each other in practice, obviously your training camps, your off-season, but on game day, you both want to show your best, and I think that's what we saw from both the offense and the defense, a complete team victory.